Greetings, Inquisitor. Welcome to the Holocron. This is the Week 65 update for the Darth Loquitur account. I update this account's progress every week, show you all the upgrades that I'm doing to characters and ships, talk about plans for the future, and in this Holocron we'll talk a lot about the credit crunch and roster expansion and how that's affecting my future plans. So with that, let's get into it and let's take a look and see what progress we made on the account this week. There's a lot of stuff to go through. So, yeah, 1 week's worth of progress, but we did say that we were going to get Qui-Gon Jinn to relic level this week, and we did manage to do that. Here he goes. And he only needs to be relic 3 for the Jedi Master Kenobi journey, so for today that's going to be good enough for us. We're just going to take him up to the minimum required level, and I don't feel like I need to over-relic him at this time. So there he goes. Relic 3, that should give us the quest completion, and there we see it show up, so we know we're good. So we're done with him for now, and we can take him off of favorites and put him away. We do have some characters that still need to go up in relic level, and General Grievous is one of those characters. We need to get 7 with him. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can make some progress here. We go to 6, and we're going to find out that we need these Zinbittle cards. Now, I was able to over-farm the HoloLens, so once I got Qui-Gon ready to go, I was able to farm up another 20 of those HoloLenses. So we're going to put those in. We're going to put in some of these detonators. I was thinking about putting in some of these computers, but at the end of the day, this will be good enough, and we can go ahead and convert this. We only need 9 of them, so I do decide to trim this back to the very minimum required to get 9 more. Take us to an even 10 Zinbittle cards. That's just what we need to go to Relic 7. So then we're going to go ahead and hit this button again. And he'll go to Relic 7, and now we'll look for a quest completion on him as well. There it comes in, upgrade to Relic 7, and we're good. And now we're more or less out of most of our relic materials. We could still potentially put a relic level on someone. So we're going to go in and take a look at this Magna Guard. And he's relic 3, and we do need to get him up some more relic levels. So we'll go ahead and amplify him again. We get him to level 4. But then we're out of the green signal data. So that's going to put an end to our relic level increase spree this week. But that's pretty good. So we got Qui-Gon to 3. We got Grievous finished off. We got another relic level onto the Magna Guard. So in terms of the journey, we're doing pretty well. Now, Shaak has been our target for a while. We've been trying to get her to gear 12. She's one of the characters that we do want to relic ahead of the others. So now she's gear 12. And she becomes the next relic target. I've got everything I need here for Zam, and I'm very tempted to go ahead and click this upgrade button because we do want to make this bounty hunter team better. And in fact, I'm going to pass on it now. But after this video was completed, I found out that I only needed 2 of the Mark 6 hypo syringes, and I was able to grab those real quick and finish her off as well. So Zam did make it to gear 12 this week. Bo-Katan, we go ahead and work on her a little bit, get her the 6th star. Here we've got Cody. We can go ahead and give him another gear tier. Now we're looking through, again, going through the journey characters, trying to see what has filled in over the course of the week. And that's where we're at. We still have this Mace Windu, and he's not even started yet, so the time has come to get him started. We've got decent credits in the bank, so we're just going to pop him straight up to 85 and get going with him. Put on some skills, get him skilled up. He's also, the admiral for the Endurance capital ship and fleets, so investing in him has to happen sooner or later, so here we go. So we get him a few gear levels and some skills. Now we have been farming this battle droid on and off out of fleets, and he's in good shape to go to 6 stars, so we're going to finish him out. He's at 38 of 100. And over time, when it's the objective for the day is hard node day, we're going to keep farming him. We're going to go ahead and pop the Zeta on this too. That takes him from 50 stacks to 100 stacks. As my Grievous team starts to get built up and get a little more threatening, then I feel like committing to this Zeta is pretty nice. It allows us to keep that B1 around longer and, have him supporting the rest of the team. His gear's not that great or anything, but yeah, we'll get him up to 7 stars and maybe put a few more gear tiers on him. Now here we've got the Super Commando and Gar Saxon, who are in the Gauntlet Starfighter. We're putting skills on them and getting them up a couple more gear tiers. We freed ourselves up from the constraints of that Mark II HoloLens that we had problems with last week. And we're going to go ahead and mod both of these guys. Now what I'm putting on these guys for mods are the ones that almost worked. If you watched my mod series, you'll know that I value very highly the mods that are 10 and 11 speed at green or blue, and I typically try to slice those up. The ones that don't work out end up as purple mods with 11 speed, so I'm going to mod like 4 different characters with all of these leftover, 9, 10, 11 speed mods that didn't hit on a slice over time. So we're going to make use of those just to get mods on these pilots to make them just one step better. Later, when we get them to a higher gear tier and get them on a functional team of some kind, we can always go back and take a look at their mods again. Bo-Katan's going to get mods as well, so we'll put mods on her. We're just basically going through a bunch of different people here and just establishing the mods. It's also helping to clean up my mod inventory because I've got a lot of these ones that didn't work, and I either have to sell them or put them on a character. So we might as well put a bunch of these mods on characters and just get them running. Now here we want to take Zam to a little bit higher speed. I'm trying to make my bounty hunter team more of a threat. And as I said, we are able to get her to gear 12. That I didn't get that recorded, unfortunately, so we don't actually get to see her going to gear 12, but she got there. And by speeding her up a little bit, that's going to help us get more speed onto the bounty hunter team. The faster we can make them go, the more of a threat they are as a little defensive team. And of course, with Zam's stat sharing, we really hope to get her to a higher gear tier. The more stats that she can share, the better off that team will be. It'll probably look like, at some point, a relic Zam with a bunch of low-level bounty hunters, because she can take worst characters and make them quite threatening with her stat sharing. So we'll look into that. We'll look into keep getting her moving. Didn't really find what I wanted, so in the end we just have to kind of put this health triangle on her. 8 speed, just not that fantastic. But she's up to 263 speed now. We added about 30 speed over where she was before. It did drop off her damage a bit, but that's the sacrifice we're making. Mara Jade was also a target for me this week. I wanted to work on her, but I go in to work on her, and I'm at 180,000 credits, pretty much broke. So no work to be done on Mara Jade this week. Here we're going to go into the Vulture Droid, get these skills upgraded, get the Discord Missile upgraded, got him to level 85. We're going to upgrade the basic as well because this ship does quite a few basics. So we're only at 4 stars, but at least we've got the skills up on him now. The Imperial Bomber, we're only 6 shards at this point away from finishing, so that farm is very nearly done. Vader, here we're at 190 speed, and I'm trying to remember if leveling helps the speed, so I check it, and it doesn't. Levels don't change the speed, so it stays at 190. That's what we got. But after leveling it up to 85, then we can go ahead and upgrade these skills, and again, try to get this ship closer to finished out. We upgrade everything here. So Vader's ship is done except for that last reinforcement ability. Probably use him as a starting ship for right now, so we'll hold off on boosting up that reinforcement. Gauntlet, we can get that to 5 stars this week. We've mostly been buying the Gauntlet out of the Fleet Arena store. We haven't really been doing too much farming of the Gauntlet on the fleet nodes. We've been saving that energy for our relic efforts, but yeah, we've got it up to 5 stars. And got some gear on the guys this week, got mods on them and skills, so the gauntlet is starting to nudge its way toward a functional ship. Here I want to make some upgrades to this Home 1 ship because we'll have to use that at some point in fleet. But once again, I'm completely out of credits here. Put some levels on it and get it up to level 58. But it's not really helping me get the skills upgraded on it, and I have a long way to go on the leveling, and we're dead on the resources, guys. So we've got 143,000 left over, and I think there's another ship that we're going to go take a look at here. The Clone Sergeant ship. We still have some levels to get on it. This is 15% more protection, so it goes from 50% to 65% protection recovery. That's pretty good. The additional target lock, this other skill, I don't have any money. We're done. We're out of credits. So even though there's a little more that we could have done with the account this week, we just ran out of resources. No more credits and no more shipbuilding materials, and that was what pretty much put an end to the improvements that we could make for the week. So week 65, we ended up at 2.69 million GP, which is 100K over last week. And with ZAM to gear 12, that put us right at a cool 2.7 million. So we took another decent jump in galactic power this week. We're up to 25 relics and 38 zetas. We relicked another character and applied another zeta on that B1. Squad Arena, we're still with CWAT getting top 50. Fleet Arena with Negotiator, we're getting top 5. Usually second place. There is an Executor in the fleet now, so I have to leave him at number 1 most days. Our project is going to be Shaak to Relic in 2 weeks, and she has to go to a relatively high Relic level, so we're going to be over-farming materials and getting her ready to go to a high Relic level. We'll try to get her there all at once. On the farming plan, it's pretty much the same. Vulture Droid, Hyena, BTL, TIE Bomber, Armor, Bo-Katan. In fleet, we're going to continue farming the Rebel Y-Wing. We're also going to start farming the Mandalorian. The team that I want to build for Zam Wesell is going to include the Mandalorian, so we need to get him up and running at some point. In the Cantina, we'll farm signal data, keep doing that for relic stuff. For mod energy, we're going to talk about that in a minute, but I'm going to farm only slicing materials. Only slicing materials. I'm not going to farm any mods. On refreshes, we're doing 3 mod, 3 energy, 3 fleet, and then Cantina when we can get it on Cantina Energy Day or All Energy Day. And Prestige, we're buying 3 a week, and we're still splitting that up with some gear. We've laid off on the Prestige buys. We may need to do that again if we can get Home 1 and Endurance up and running a little bit. We might need to kick more effort over toward the Prestige, but that's what we're doing for now. In the fleet store, we're buying Zetas and, like the Gauntlet and other ships when we see them in there. Everything else is going to feed the Shard Shop. Currency deficit. So the discussion of this week is, with the gear changes, with the GAC changes, with the opening up, and basically where you don't have to control your galactic power anymore. So in terms of resources, the crystals, I've been comfortably getting high fleet placement. There were a couple days where I wasn't able to play for my fleet placement, and just getting like 12th place takes so many crystals away. Oh my goodness. Just with those 2 days, I couldn't even do my normal routine refreshes. The GAC payouts help, but at the lower levels, you're only getting like 115 crystals a day from the GAC, from the arena payout system or whatever you want to call it daily. So it's really not many crystals over there. If you miss it in fleet, there's no crystals to be had. And they've made it impossible to get these Conquest characters except for, out of the Conquest shop, at least for now. I am trying to build this Commander Ahsoka Tano, so I really can't purchase any shards of her. I haven't purchased any shards in almost 10 days now because my crystals are gone and I just can't seem to do anything to get that crystal count back up. The week off of Grand Arena, just like the 500 that you get for a 2-in-1 record, kind of puts you back in the ballpark where you can get some Cantina refreshes, or in my case, I can make a choice to spend those 500 crystals and get some cat shards with them. But, with the week off in Grand Arena and this new payout system, I'm really having a hard time even getting enough crystals just to do the daily refreshes. So it's uncomfortable. I don't like it. In terms of credits, expanding the roster has just crushed my credit economy. I mean, if you go back and look at my update videos, I ran it right around 25 million. I could buy mods when they showed up in the store. So, even with buying, 1 or 2 mods a week, I was still maintaining 25 million in the bank. And now, I'm completely broke. We ran it down to 180K with more stuff still to do. And I can't keep up, and I still need more fleet, so I still have to build more characters. I still have to spend more credits on those pilots. So it's the roster expansion has really depleted my economy, and I am keeping up with mod work. I'm spending enough credits on mods that I'm not falling behind, but I can't buy any out of the shop. Now, obviously, I'm in control of the progression of my account, and if I just like we built Mace Windu and just chucked like 8 million credits at Mace Windu. So, I mean, obviously I could choose not to do that and get some more credits stored up in the bank. So right now we're expanding the roster pretty quickly, but we are going to have to slow down that expansion and get some money saved back up, at least to the extent that we can buy good mods when they show up in the shop. For shipbuilding materials, same thing. It's also completely depleted. We still have 2 capital ships. We got to build the home one. We got to work on the endurance at some point, at least a little bit. And again, I haven't been buying any mods. And this week we ran it all the way down to 65.1K credits with still more ship stuff to do. So in conclusion, I mean, I'm not complaining about this. It's just an observation that with the system opened up, you can pretty much spend every week until your credits are gone. So it's just kind of an observation where the prior, where we had to conserve our GP and keep the GP under control for Grand Arena, that actually helped. We didn't expand the rosters as quickly, and we kind of, were able to keep our credits more under control. The other observation out of this, the reliance on fleet crystals, if you don't have an executor, those fleet crystal incomes are only guaranteed until so many executors get into your shard that you can kiss that goodbye. So you either have to have a pretty effective counter, get really good with the malevolence counter so that you can take out the executors, or once the executors start showing up, they're going to push you out of this income and push you out of the economy. So I am really, truly hoping that they make the Razor Crest available, farmable. Even if they put it in the store for guild event tokens too, it'd be fine with me. But we have to get access to this ship so that the common player can get access to the Razor Crest and build this executor. Otherwise, we're going to be locked out of that fleet economy. And I'm worried that in the next few months, as more executors start showing up in my fleet shard, I'm nowhere close to the executor on this Loquitur account, and I could very easily get pushed completely out of this economy. So, and that won't look good for account building when I'm only getting 115 crystals a day. So it's an interesting conundrum. And then that's also the reason why I'm going to change to this idea of working on slicing materials for a few weeks. I've got quite a few mods that I could slice, but I wait and I only slice the very best of the best. But if I just work on slicing materials and build up a bank of those and don't get new mods to work on, at least for a short period of time, that'll give me some relief from spending, 3 to 5 million credits a week on mod work. And we can start to get that bank built back up to the extent that we can look at maybe buying some more mods out of the shop. Because when a really good mod shows up in the shop, you don't want to miss out on it. There's no guarantee that it'll work out, but when it's got 5 speed and 4 good stats and, like a triangle with the main stat line that's crit damage and a bunch of good stats, you don't want to have to walk away from that. So I got to get my bank built back up. All right, the fleet issue. So we definitely have, quickly found that our little fleets of 4 ships aren't quite good enough to cut it in the grand arenas against the fleets that we're facing. So even though people don't have very good fleets, I'm not able to underman my fleet system quite as much as I thought I was going to be able to do. But we've got some plans over there. I've got the Houndstooth running with the Negotiator right now. If I get my BTLB up at least to 6 stars, then we can release that Houndstooth. I could look to build the Endurance as a capital ship and then put together a bounty hunter fleet. We'll use Houndstooth. And we've got the Slave 1 started already for Boba Fett. And if we build these 2 other bounty hunter ships, then we can put together a little bounty hunter fleet. That'll let me keep my Empire fleet as one of my offensive fleets. So we can have the Malevolence as a fleet. We can have the Empire fleet. And then potentially, maybe some leftovers that we could even run under Home 1 with like the TIE Silencer and some other stuff that would serve as a cleanup fleet if the Empire fleet can't get it done, for example. So the 2 ships that make the most sense to build would be the IG-2000 and the Xanadu Blood. And of course their requirements, or the Xanadu Blood gets used with the Executor build, so it's only logical to go ahead and build those ships. It'll also open it up for me to go ahead and grab Millennium Falcon at some point if I want to do that. I'll have the bounty hunter ships ready to go for that quest. So we'll take a look at doing that. I've just got 4 shards left for the TIE Bomber. So what I'll end up doing is we'll finish out the TIE Bomber farm. As soon as we've got the last shard for that, then we're going to start doing the Armorer, and we're going to start doing refreshes on the Armorer, wasting those 25 crystals and doing a forced refresh. And we'll try to get that Armorer to completion. We're going to be facing some SLKR teams at some point, and I do want my Sith Eternal Emperor to be able to beat the SLKR, and that does require the Armorer to do reliably. So we need to get that character finished out and get it going to 7 stars, get it built up. I want to take my armor to Relic. I know some people are able to do that counter with lower level armors and Thrawn, but I don't want to have to give up Thrawn in that team if I don't have to. So we'll look to potentially take armor all the way to Relic. But if I finish out the TIE Bomber and finish out the Armorer, then that leaves me those 2 slots to farm. I'll put in the IG-2000 and the Xanadu Blood into those farming spots. So over the course of this next week, we'll probably get that in place and have the new farming routine set up. That's going to conclude the discussion and ideas and everything for the Loquitur account for this week. Remember, we do have a subscription competition going on right now. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. We only need 130 more, so anything you can do, comment, leave a comment down below for me, like the video, whatever you can do that helps get this more views and potentially new subscribers to help get that competition locked in. And then remember, if you want to be part of that competition, head on over to the Discord server. Our Discord link is in the description of the holocron down below. Just click on that. It'll take you over to the Discord and you can sign up for a contest. $25 gift cards will be drawn if we make it to our subscriber goal. And if you change your in-game name to include Inquisitor at the front of it, like Inquisitor Obtisio, for example, then you will double your winnings, and instead of $25, you will get a $50 gift card. So join us over on Discord for the chance to win and get these videos as much publicity as we can so we can keep getting new subscribers. That's going to wrap it up. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all, and I will see you in the next holocron.